Hello, I'm Carla Bruce, and I'm proud to serve as the Chief Equity Officer for Fairfax County Government. Fairfax County is a great and diverse place to live, learn, work, play, and worship. Our diversity is not only one of our greatest strengths, it is also a key driver of our county's population growth. Unfortunately, not everyone is shared in the opportunity that has yielded prosperity for many, therefore resulting in an uneven opportunity landscape in our county. This map is from an academic study called Getting Ahead: The Uneven Opportunity Landscape, produced by the Virginia Commonwealth University Center on Society and Health, with support from the Northern Virginia Health Foundation. It identifies areas across several factors, such as housing, employment, healthcare, and others, where opportunities exist and where they are missing. Intersectional systemic barriers have also blocked opportunity in some areas. The report calls these yellow areas islands of disadvantage, as there are spatial and racial inequities, and as race and place often intersect, many people of color live in these islands of disadvantage. This information propelled our Board of Supervisors to adopt the One Fairfax policy in November 2017, a bold declaration of a vision for Fairfax County to be racially and socially equitable. After the adoption, Chairman Sharon Bulova invited a group of stakeholders representing residents, staff, and the civic, faith, nonprofit, philanthropic, and business communities to come together to foster open and honest discussions on issues surrounding race, with an ultimate goal of engaging the community to inform the county's application of the One Fairfax policy. Chairman Jeff McKay furthered this vision by convening the Chairman's Task Force on Equity and Opportunity in September 2020 to better understand the drivers of inequity and to develop recommendations to accelerate the county's progress towards becoming One Fairfax.
This group was convened over the summer of last year amongst the convergence of public health and economic crises, with national and racial unrest occurring all across the country, to give us a transformative opportunity as local government to form and change policy and enable us to align and leverage our investments as we shape the structure of opportunity across the county strategically and, most importantly, intentionally, and continue to accelerate our One Fairfax mission and policy that our board and the school board have embraced.
One Fairfax is a way to think about and approach how we govern and manage the county. It involves facing our history and our current reality, understanding where we are and what we want for the future, establishing clear priorities and making explicit choices, committing to bold and innovative approaches, and meaningfully engaging community and key stakeholders. We must ensure that we are having meaningful conversations and focusing on people directly affected by our policies and practices, particularly those who have not had a voice at our table before. Fairfax County is a member of the Government Alliance on Race and Equity and have adopted their framework for national best practice, normalize, organize, and operationalize, as the basis for achieving our vision of becoming One Fairfax. Normalizing is naming that we're working on equity, having easily understood definitions of equity and inequity, and making equity a priority. Organizing is ensuring we have structures set up to support equity work and having community partnerships in place because we know that local government can't do all this work by itself. Operationalizing refers to being data-driven and using equity tools to inform planning and decision-making. If we are truly committed to One Fairfax, we must fully realize the extent to which the county's policy and practice have contributed to inequity. And while we consider equity across various areas of marginalization, we must acknowledge that racial inequities are present across all societal systems, including housing, health, education, criminal justice, economics, environment, food access, and more. In centering race, we seek to close gaps so that race is not a predictor of success, while also aiming to improve outcomes for all. We have a saying with One Fairfax that we all do better when we all do better. It's the belief that in focusing on achieving racial equity, we are creating opportunity for everyone in our community. The work of advancing equity and becoming One Fairfax is organized through collective leadership at all levels. By engaging and communicating regularly with elected officials, the county executive, and senior management about implementing One Fairfax, which is noted in the orange arrow. By working with equity leads, teams, and ambassadors to build and strengthen the infrastructure and capacity to consider equity through trainings on equity, convening equity teams, and developing equity impact plans, which is noted in the light gray arrow. Ultimately, this work across sectors is focused on strategically integrating policy and practice. We want to ensure that every single resident of Fairfax County can access the amenities that we all want in our communities. Equity has become a key consideration in the county-wide strategic planning process. In support of the One Fairfax vision, through the county-wide strategic plan, we will continue to strengthen our infrastructure for equitable service delivery and the advancement of full access to opportunities for our diverse populations and communities. As we strive toward becoming One Fairfax, the ability for our diverse communities and populations to participate and thrive is vital to our county's success. With our county-wide strategic plan, we are using data to address inequities and build the capability to give every person who calls this county home access to opportunity and prosperity. Through targeted strategies, we can transform areas where residents face economic, educational, health, housing, and other challenges into communities of opportunity and foster the development of an inclusive economy. As we plan for the future success of Fairfax County, we encourage all staff, residents, and community stakeholders to get engaged and stay up to date on how One Fairfax is shaping our future through the county-wide strategic plan.